And we are back with another episode of From the Rafters. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, February 3rd, day after Celtics beat the Charlotte Hornets at home. Third win in a row. It's the third time I think they've done that this season, and they're kind of on a roll lately. 4-1 in their last 5 games, 10-4 in their last 14. That's math. And things are looking up. I mean, 5-1 since Marcus has come back, and I mean, they're playing well, and that's been kind of the topic of discussions. Marcus Smart, making it hard to trade him, and there were all the reports saying it would take a lot to get the Celtics to trade Marcus Smart, anyways. But now this is kind of cementing it. And Sam, I know you had a fun interaction on Twitter before we started here, but yeah,
Yeah,
Marcus playing well.
there's like a lot. I mean, obviously Marcus is one of the most polarizing players on the team. You either love him or hate him. And I just don't understand like the consistent hate for him. Like this guy, like I tweeted yesterday, like you can't trade him or whatever, because he had a massive play in that game. He chased down Bridges on a fast break and blocked him. And he was really pumped up, and it kind of brought the crowd into the game. And to me, that was just huge. I don't know. I feel like we don't see enough of that from this team, which might be why their record is what it is.
The
But
emotion, yeah.
yeah, it was really cool to see. We hadn't really gotten a moment like that in a while. But yeah, and I was like, oh, you can't trade him, whatever. Gets a bunch of likes. But one guy replied to it, he's like, all right, the last 5 games have been great. What about 8 years? Like Marcus has been on the team for 8 years. They've never missed the playoffs. He's filled pretty much every role they've asked him to. He's never gotten the opportunity really to be the starting point guard because they've always had good guards ahead of him: Rondo, Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie, Kemba. Now he's finally given the keys, I guess, if you really want to say that.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's still going to have to be backseat
Well,
to
no, I
Tatum
mean,
Brown.
I
As the
didn't
starting
know.
point guard, he's finally getting the opportunity.
Yes.
Right?
My point was that they haven't really even given him that because Schroeder's just taken half the touches. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but now that
lately
they're finally playing them separately, he's doing it, is my point. I was just backing you up.
But even before that, like you can see the difference in the way
Yeah.
he's approaching the game this season. He has chucked far less. He's always looking to make the extra pass. The only reason why he's struggled at times is, like you said, they have him and Schroeder on the floor together. It doesn't work. They both play a similar style. They both aren't the best shooters. It doesn't make sense to run two of the same guy unless they're, all-stars next to each other. Now that he's been given more of that main primary ball handler role, the team has played better, and so has he. And not to mention his defense has been off the charts. I mean, that Atlanta game to me was a big game for him. I mean, obviously they lost, and it was frustrating because they were down, and then they got all the way back just to go down big again. But he didn't allow a single point in that game. Nobody that he was guarding scored.
And he only allowed 4 in the Pelicans game right after, too. So his defense has been phenomenal. And after the game yesterday, obviously Robert Williams had a clutch block on PJ Washington at the end of the game. Rob's phenomenal as well. Marcus Smart's talking about after the game, I joked to Rob saying that he's going to take my title for the best defender on the team, that he needs to keep going. Everything's just kind of lining into place, man. Like the defense is there. We all knew the defense was there with that lineup, but we're seeing it for the first time this year produce results, like wins consistently, which is great. Tatum and Brown are buying into that role. And earlier this season, Marcus Smart got clowned on for saying that they need to pass the ball, but look what's happening when they do. Right?
Yeah.
They're passing the ball and they're making the most of situations, and the team is winning. Shocker. Marcus Smart was right. Who would have thought?
I never understood why people were so mad about that. It's like the Hannibal Buress thing where he's like, "Why are you booing me? I'm right." Like he legitimately was right. Like, and it's not like no one's been saying that. Literally, the last whole season, everyone's like, "Oh, too much ISO ball," which was correct. But then Marcus says it publicly, and they're like, "Why is he saying it? Why are you saying it then, buddy? You're sitting on the couch. He's on the team at least. It's affecting him." People are like,
"Who said that? Who are you talking about?"
Just all these people on Twitter were like, why is he the one saying that? You've all been saying it. We've all been saying it. We're not even on the team. So it's great that someone on the team that's the longest tenured guy there is saying it, of course. But regardless of Marcus or not Marcus, whatever, they've played fantastic this last, stretch here. They finally won. Well, not finally. They won 3 in a row again, but they finally kind of got over their hump to me. That Charlotte game was a big game for both teams, right? They're kind of close to each other in the standings, only half a game separating them now. They needed to win that game, and they did. They went up, they let them back in, they went up again, they let them back in. But the most impressive thing to me is they closed the game
Yep.
when the other team had the hottest player on the floor. And
Terry.
not no, LaMelo.
Terry got hot
LaMelo
at the end there.
LaMelo had like 40 points, Jack.
I know, he had 38, but at the end, it was all Terry.
He was still red hot regardless. Like
Alright, whatever, yeah.
two of them then, even more to the
Yeah, no,
point, right? Two of
regardless,
them.
regardless, regardless.
But and then even on top of that, Tatum and Brown really didn't play that well yesterday, and they managed to close the game. A month ago, that's a loss. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, 100%.
that's improvement.
Yeah, and I think I said it before the game, um, obviously, the Jays didn't play well. Robert Williams being in the game, helped a lot because last time
Did
they
help,
played
yep.
Charlotte, he wasn't there, right? Like, and you saw that, like, actively, affect the Celtics throughout the game, and having him helped a lot, and so I thought that was huge. Marcus Smart obviously made some clutch shots. He was great on both ends of the floor. Jaylen Brown needs to stop dribbling in traffic and turning the ball over. That's been a little frustrating lately, but I'm sure he'll get that under wraps. I trust Jalen. But speaking of Jalen, some news came out from Steve Bulpett, old friend of the show,
Friend of the
Sam's worst
show that
nightmare.
I so famously misrepresented.
Very funny, but he's over at heavy.com now. I released some information from sources around the league saying, if the Celtics don't start to turn things around, Jalen Brown could seek, quote unquote, a June divorce, could seek a move in the offseason. Um, and a lot of people on Twitter got really mad. I wrote about it for Celtics blog, obviously, just aggregating the news. A lot of people, got really mad at me. I will say though, I had one guy in my mention saying it's a Jack Simone article. He sucks. So thank you for reading. I appreciate the consistent, readership.
By
Thank
the
you
way,
for
your
supporting me.
articles on Celtics blog are just news articles, right? For the most part,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that's what your job is, to write the news.
Yeah, a lot of the comments on that article were there's no sources. This is baseless. And I screenshotted the article, and the first sentence is according to Steve Bulpett of heavy.com. And people just don't read it. They just click and they get mad at
Yeah.
the news. And I mean, in fairness, like, it's frustrating to see that news in the headlines, but it's not really surprising. Like, if a team is doing poorly for this long, like 500 for 2 seasons, and one of the quotes was, Jalen Brown's getting frustrated because last year when they were struggling, it was a lot of Jason Tatum taking the ball for three straight possessions, and then Jalen felt the need to get a shot up because he wasn't getting touches. So, I mean, I can see how it's frustrating. And, obviously they're playing better now. But if the Celtics continue to go down this path of being 500 and hovering below it, it wouldn't surprise anybody realistically if Jalen was like, all right, let's start to think forward here, because if I'm not going to get the same touches as Jason or similar touches as Jason, then we should probably be on different teams, and you should build around one of us and other pieces. And realistically speaking, like, obviously no one in Boston wants that to happen right now, or at least sane people, in my opinion, want that to happen because you have two superstars. But is it that crazy to think that, okay, maybe two players who play similarly should be on different teams? No, but at the same time, if you have talent, you make it work, and they're clearly committed to doing that. This is just, reports saying that if it doesn't work, then they might look to split up, which shouldn't surprise anybody, right? Like, that shouldn't surprise anybody.
Well, it's and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, they've made it work. It's happened in the past. Sure,
Yeah.
2018 run was a little bit different because Brown in particular was more of a role player in that run. He was not the secondary option, probably. Like, it was more Rozier or Horford that was, but Tatum was still really towards the top. But in 2020 in the bubble, it was the two of them. Kemba was not good. Hayward rolled his ankle in like the second game. It was them. They did it. They ran through teams in the playoffs. They
Yes.
can absolutely play together, and there's no denying it.
I know, but and I've said this again, and we don't have to go down the same rabbit hole every time we discuss this. It's egos now. And if they can put that to the side moving forward, that's fine. But the last 2 seasons has been egos. And you saw that in the quote in the Bullpit article of them saying, it was a lot of Tatum iso ball, and then Jalen felt like he had to shoot. That's just egos talking right there. And maybe Marcus Smart coming out earlier this season saying they need to pass, and they're starting to work together as a team. You can see it on the court. You've heard the quotes, Al saying Jalen stepping up in the locker room. That's great. You love to see that. He's stepping up on the court too, taking on a leadership role. If they can put egos to the side and start focusing on playing as a team, which they have done in the past, 14, 15 games, then great. But if not, and that ego is gonna get in the way, it shouldn't surprise anybody that Jalen wants to leave. Of course he'd wanna leave. He has all the capabilities of being a star player, and if that's gonna be limited in Boston and he's not gonna be able to win, then why would he stay here? And I'm not saying that's going to happen because I think they're fully capable of turning it around, as you can see in these last however many games, but I just don't think it wasn't as harsh of news as everyone took it to be, and, it baffled me that a lot of people obviously, you know, last year, we didn't know exactly how long Steve Bulpett had been at the team, his sources, et cetera, as evidenced by your misquoting. But
It's
the
very
point is,
tough.
everyone's calling him out saying, "Oh, Steve Bulpett's a nobody. He's just an idiot. Clickbait." And I saw someone point it out on Twitter, and it was Steve Bulpett quite literally did not grow up in the clickbait era. I don't know what you're talking about. The man just has sources. People just like to hate on Twitter, and it kind of it frustrates me. But I kind of just use it as entertainment. I get a lot of DMs and mentions just telling me I suck, and I just respond with a quick thank you and keep moving on with my day.
Well, another thing about this Brown thing, right? Like they're saying if it doesn't get better, he's gonna want to leave.
And it is getting better.
Okay, he this has come out has made a concerted effort to make things better. So he clearly does not want
Mhm.
that to happen.
Of course.
He's giving it his all. It's not really like a Kyrie situation where he's just phoning it in at the end, right?
Or
Even
James
though that
Harden
was
situation right now.
contractual and it wasn't. Wait, what'd you say?
I said, or like the James Harden situation
Yeah,
right now
yeah, or
from
anything like that. He's not like
Yeah,
shooting his way out of town. He is working like to be better.
of course.
It's not deflecting and saying it's everyone else's fault and I need more help. It's we need to play better together. That's kind of what I'm
Mhm.
getting. I didn't read the article. I kind of stayed away from it just because from everybody that I saw on Twitter, including you, like that's like intelligent, said like there wasn't much to it. Like really, it's just what you would expect, like you just said. So yeah, like he's not trying to leave. That's not what it means. It means okay, it's human nature to get frustrated if you keep losing. Like we're all frustrated for the most part, right?
Yeah.
We've been frustrated all season. It's starting to wear off a bit. Things are getting a little better. Finally getting up close to that level I thought they would be at.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean he's leaving. That's not what it means. It means play better. And he's taken it upon himself to make that a reality.
Yeah, I agree. And I in the article, I mean, to put anybody's minds at ease, it did say in capital letters from a source from an executive. And everyone around the league knows it would take a lot to get Jalen Brown. So at the very worst, if Jalen Brown does admit, and I don't think it would be anything with malice. I just think it would be him saying, okay, this probably isn't working. Let's just try to go in different directions. Celtics would get a haul. They would get a haul for Jalen Brown. And at the very least, if Jalen Brown requested a trade or asked to leave, they'd probably be able to get, Ben Simmons if the Harden thing doesn't work out, or like a De'Aaron Fox, or they'd get another
Well, they could
elite
get
young talent.
Simmons. That's something that's been said that they would do
I don't
Simmons
think
for Brown, but
anymore. I don't think they could get Simmons anymore. I think the
you
Sixers are
don't think they
waiting
could get
for
Simmons anymore? I guess
no,
because
because
they're
I
not
think
desperate.
no, because
Philadelphia?
I think they're waiting for Harden now. I think they're gonna wait
Oh,
for
all
Harden.
right,
That's
well,
what's
fair
gonna happen.
enough.
Yeah. I think the Philadelphia 76ers are gonna get a Harden or a Beal or a Lillard, and they're gonna move on with their life. Um, and that's what I was talking about with the Harden thing. I wrote about it this morning. Harden's been terrible lately, and it seems like maybe he's just kind
Good.
of phoning it. They've lost their last 6. They
Yeah,
lost
good.
6 games in a row.
I mean,
It's
let's not
oof.
discount Kevin Durant being out because he's at least
I
top 3 in the league.
Yes, but you're telling me you have Kyrie Irving and James Harden,
You have
they're 0
Kyrie
6
half the
the last 6
time.
games? 4 out of the 6 games they both played.
Okay. Well, there you go. And Harden is Harden. I mean, he doesn't
And
get those damn whistles anymore, man. Like, I don't know what to
it's
tell you.
ironic. Harden complained about whistles the other day. He said, they're just calling everything now." And it's just like, "Shut up. Shut up, James Harden."
Yeah.
Like, come
See you
on,
later.
man. It
Celtics
was
will see those
funny.
boys next week, though, Tuesday
They will
night.
twice in the next couple weeks, let's see him.
Yes. Big games,
Um,
too. Only 2 games
yeah, and
back in the standings.
excuse me, yeah, and it's not like the Nets are playing bad teams. Like, they played the Suns, Nuggets, and Warriors in that
Well, they
6
just
games,
lost
which
to
isn't
Sacramento.
ideal. But yeah, then I was gonna say they just lost to Sacramento, they lost to the Lakers, they lost to the Timberwolves. So it's not
There you
like they're
go.
all only playing good teams. They're a mess. Um, you want to go through and look at our January predictions and see where we stand?
Yes. Yep.
Start of the month, we did January record predictions for the Celtics. Neither of us were right. Um, Celtics ended up 9-6 in the month of January, which is not ideal. But like we pointed out last time, if you take away I mean, they lost the first 2 games. I still lump those in with the prior with the 2021 Celtics, and I'll start the 2022 Celtics with the second Knicks game, just because that's when you really saw them start to turn a corner, and I think it's only fair to, obviously, the month of January is the month of January. It is what it is, but I think that is like the point where they started to turn things around. But, anyways, San Antonio game we both said was a win. Obviously, we know what happened there. Um, you said the first Knicks game would be a win. I said it would be a loss, and again, we knew it happened there. Both said they would beat the Knicks and then Indiana twice. You predicted the Philly L. I thought they would win, which they probably, like you
I
said, they
had
didn't
both
really
my
need to
losses
show up.
correct. I said 13-2. I
Yes.
got both of them right.
Yep. I said Chicago would be an L. You said it would be a dub. It was a dub. We both said New Orleans would be a win. I predicted the Charlotte L. You did not. The Portland L. Neither of us could have guessed. Washington, Sacramento wins. We both said they would lose to Atlanta, which they did. W's for New Orleans, and I said an L for Miami. You said a dub, but in fairness to myself, I didn't know Miami was going to show up with the skeleton crew, so I'll take a backseat. But yeah, I said 10-5. You said 13-2. They ended up 9-6. Uh, they ended up the month at 27-25, 2 games above 500, which in the grand scheme of things, based on how they played earlier this season, not too
It's
bad. And now
better.
they are 3 games up, 28-25. So things are looking up. Only a half game behind Charlotte for the 7 seed, and like you said, only 3 games behind the Nets for that, or 2 games. Is it 2 games or 3 games?
2 behind Brooklyn.
2 behind Brooklyn for the 6th seed. That's not bad,
Yep.
and they're only 4 behind Milwaukee for the home court advantage. So,
There you go.
let's not get ahead of ourselves, but things are looking up for
I will
the
say
Celtics.
this, you were right when you said way back after that bad loss against the Knicks that it might turn them around, and, I mean, you cited it, kinda has, 10-4 since then, but, man,
Yeah.
those were 2 bad losses. San Antonio and
Not great.
the Knicks the first time.
I will also say, after the Hornets lost, you were ready to completely discount all their progress, and I was not. So I'm gonna take that as a W as well.
Well, I was
Uh,
like, I was like, "They still gotta prove it to me."
mhm.
I
And
wasn't
they
I
have
was
been.
like and they did yesterday.
Mhm.
That yesterday's
Yes.
win was the win I was looking for. You need to show up against a team that also is thinking this game is important, and they did it.
It was like a playoff atmosphere. Taylor Rozier said that after the game. That
Yeah,
was
it
great.
sounded really good in there. Well, good for the fans. I mean, I feel like we've had weak crowds all year at the Garden, but I guess
Can you blame them?
the
Can you
players
blame
haven't
'em?
earned the support.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I can't. Cheap tickets though. Cheap tickets around. I just work too much. I can't get over there.
Speaking of tickets, very random, but I saw this the other day. Do you see how much Indiana Pacers tickets were selling for the other night?
Probably like $5. Like probably nothing.
$1.
That's
$1
crazy.
for the cheapest ticket. How crazy is that? And then the comment was, "Well, damn, now I see why the Pacers don't wanna rebuild. Imagine how cheap they'd be for a rebuilding Indiana team." But
Yeah.
realistically speaking,
I
maybe
mean,
it's
they
me.
already
I'd
are.
I'd rather watch a young up and coming Indiana team than the current product on the floor. Like, I love Sabonis as much as the next guy, but Jesus, woof. It's getting bad. Indiana getting bad. It's already bad. But, yeah.
It's been bad over there. I told you they'd be bad. I told you they'd be bad. I told you the Knicks would be bad, and I told you the Lakers would be bad.
You did. That's fair enough. I mean, this
And then
I
you
didn't
told me
think
the
the,
Celtics would be bad, and I said, "No, no." And
and
here we
was
are.
like, I'll take
Where
the
that one's
dub
still
on
up in
that
the
one. I don't
air.
know. Yeah.
That one is
I
yet to be determined.
well, I think they're already worse than a lot of people anticipated. What were our beginning of the
Certainly,
season record
you
predictions?
I
What
said
was
they
your
should
record
get
prediction?
50 wins, and you said, like
I think 46, 44,
yeah, something
maybe.
like that, and I was like, "Ooh, anything less than that's really brutal."
Yeah, and what are they aiming for right now? Like, what do you think's a good win total for them for the season at this point?
Let's see, they've got 28 wins, 25 losses, that's 53 games, they've got 29 left. So, um, oh, man,
Mhm.
I think they should be able to win
How many games do they have left? Sorry.
29.
They have
I
okay,
think they
29
should be
games
able
left.
to take at least 18 of them.
I was saying I think they should go 29. I think they
I
can aim
haven't
high,
looked at them
29.
yet. I was gonna say that, but I thought it might be a bit too much to
Well,
ask.
I mean, in February alone, they have Detroit, Orlando, Detroit again, and Brooklyn twice, who's been struggling without KD. So I think they have a real chance. And if you think about it, that's win two, lose one, win two, lose one, win two, lose one the whole month, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
it
know,
is. Okay.
so
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
I
it's
don't
really
think
not
that's
asking
too.
that much.
So, but I mean, realistically speaking, that would put them at 48 wins, and I think that's a little bit high for how they've started the season. Possible, but I'm still sticking with 46. I think 44 is realistic, but
Well, that's
I
what I
think
said. I said
46 is a good
46
goal.
with the 18.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. I'm happy with 46. I'm happy with 44 realistically based on how they started the season. 44 is not ideal, but based on how they started and how they finished, 44 would still be a decent way to
Be an
wrap up the season.
improvement from last season. They were only
6 games above
500.
500, right?
Yeah.
No, 3 games. 3 games above 500, right?
Well,
Because three. But
technically, they'd be 6
however you want to
above,
look at it.
but if they lose 3
Yeah,
more games, then they're 500.
yeah. However you want to look at it. Do you want to do February record predictions? So we
Yes.
missed the first game of the month, but we haven't recorded since then. Sorry for the
I would
absence,
have said
everybody.
it should be a win.
But what you would have said? What should be a win?
The first game of the month. I mean,
Charlotte,
we
yeah,
can
it
go
should be
from
a win
there.
for sure. I'm just, excuse me, marking down the rest of the games. From what I'm seeing, Sam, the schedule is
It's light again.
it's not too hot. Yes. Let's see. And I'm just marking down the last one. I also just
They
want to see,
sh
do they play on my birthday? They don't. It's lame.
they should
Anyways,
win. What day is your birthday? Is it the
March.
16th?
It's
Oh,
March.
no.
It's March. Yeah, yeah. We're just going. It was the trade
I
deadline
just
last year.
Oh, I know a couple
Birthday.
people with that 16th
Mhm.
birthday. That's why I was like, "You
Mm.
another?"
But yeah. All right. So you want to run through February? When's
Yes.
your birthday? I don't know your birthday.
October 28th.
Okay. Yeah. Never would have guessed. All right. Next game, Detroit on the 4th. I mean, should I just?
They should beat Detroit. They should beat Orlando. As of
Yep.
now,
I
they should
agree.
beat Brooklyn.
I agree with you there.
I
Then they,
I hesitate to say they should beat Brooklyn because Brooklyn is a team they've struggled against ever since KD's been on it, but he's not playing.
if KD
So,
doesn't play, they should win.
yeah.
And I don't know when he's supposed to come back,
He's
but
supposed to be out for a while, I think. So, he probably won't play that game. I
all right.
I think they should be able to beat Denver.
I don't think they'll beat Denver.
Let's see.
That they should be able to, but I think that'll be
Denver's only
where it
like
kind
a
of
game
snaps.
better than them. 2 games in the loss column.
Yeah, but
They
I
should be
don't
able to
know.
beat Denver. I'm sorry. They
I think
should.
they can.
They're at
They
home.
can, but
They're
it's not
they're
an
at
easy game.
home. If things go to plan, they'll be on a 6-game streak coming home. They should win.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't
They
I
should
don't thi
win.
I don't think they win that one. Atlanta, the next one, I think they win Atlanta because 'cause they're home,
That's a
if they
home
were in
game.
Atlanta, but I think they show up
Yeah,
there.
I think they should win that too.
Yep. Philly's next.
I
I
think
think
they'll
that should
drop that
be
one in Philly.
I think that'll be a win. Is that home or is that in Philly?
That's at Philly.
I still think they'll win it. I'm confident that they'll bounce back because I think they'll hold that Philly loss, and at that point, we're talking about a very different Celtics team,
No, I
potentially.
agree, and they beat Philly already this
No,
year.
as in literally, because that's past the trade deadline at this point. We're
Okay,
talking.
well, that might not be a good
Um,
thing.
after that, they have Detroit again.
They
I
should
mean, I
win.
think, yep. I think I see. I don't know this. I'm gonna mark this Brooklyn game as a loss for me, just because I don't know if KD is gonna be back, and I also
Yeah.
think they probably wouldn't beat Brooklyn twice in a row. So
Well,
that's what I'm
Kyrie
gonna go
won't be
with.
playing in either of these games.
True, true. I still think.
I'm gonna say they should win it because I
Okay,
still don't know if Katie's gonna be back then.
all right. I got you. Hold on. Let me look at
That's
KD's
the
injury
first
report
game
here.
after the All-Star break, and he's not playing in the All-Star game.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna say they win that. I'm gonna say they
All right.
win out except Philly.
Okay. That's high
Jeez, I
hopes.
really have high.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
saying.
asking to be hurt.
I mean, I only have 2 losses on my schedule, but
I really
realistically
don't.
speaking,
I really don't think they should lose many of these games at all.
it's high hopes. I mean, obviously, on paper, you Celtics should be winning a lot of them, but in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of unrealistic to think they'll go 10-0, like, or even 9-0. Like, just in the basketball landscape, with because some of the teams you have them beating are good teams. It's not like they're all duds. Like Denver's
Who?
really good,
Yeah,
Philly's
Denver is a
really
good
good,
team.
Philly's really
Well,
good.
I didn't have them beating
Atlanta's
Philly. I think they lose
I
to
know
Philly.
Atlanta's not good record wise, but they play the Celtics really
They
well.
beat up on the Celtics. That's a
Brooklyn
risk.
is a solid team even when they don't have KD. Outside of that, I'll give you them, but those
If
are all
they
games they could
win
potentially
less than
lose.
7 games, it's a failure,
I agree, and I don't think that'll be that hard. I think 7-3, realistically speaking, is probably the most realistic outcome for the month.
which is
But
gonna land you at 35 and 28 at the time, so it's
that's
not
not
too
bad.
bad.
That's not bad at all. That
Nope.
that could have you pretty high in the standings at that point. I think that could get some up there, but we'll see. I think Detroit, Orlando. That there's no excuse. I mean, Orlando's been low key rolling, but again, it's Orlando, so you should not you should not drop a game to Orlando, regardless. But yeah. Next thing I have on the slate, All-Star reserves as we're recording this are announced tonight. Um, Tomorrow morning when you guys are listening to this is you'll know them by then, but we don't know them right now. So we're gonna go
This
through
is
and
the
do our
part of the show
predictions.
where I get exposed for not paying attention to any other team.
No, no, we'll be fine. All right, let me write down the
So let's see. I'm just gonna see if I can
thing
name all
here.
the starters. I know I'll go through these. Trey Young is starting. KD's technically a starter, but he's not gonna play.
Tatum's probably gonna be
Um,
starting
oh, he certainly does not deserve it. But
at this
uh,
point. They're on a
Trey.
roll.
So it's
I'm
Trey
not too
Young,
upset. Yep,
Durant,
yep,
Embiid,
yep,
boy, DeRozan,
yep,
and
you,
Giannis.
yep,
Okay, so that's them. Then it's Curry, Wiggins, LeBron, Ja, and
yep.
Luca.
Excuse
Probably,
me.
if
No,
I had to guess,
no, no,
Luca's
no, no,
no,
no. You
and
come
Jokic.
on,
Sorry,
dude. You're
who?
losing your shit right now. A guard, dude. Come on, bro. They're your team. You upped them all year, saying
I
I
said
knew they'd be
Curry.
good. No, you didn't. You said Morant. You said
I said
Ja.
Curry, Wiggins, LeBron, Ja.
Oh, I thought you said Jokic first. I thought you were missing a guard still. I thought
No.
yeah, it's Jokic. My bad. All right. Um, Okay, reserve. So you get 2 guards, 3 forwards, and 2 wild cards. Any. I've been flip flopping all year a lot because it's tough. There's a lot of good competition, especially at the guard spot. So it's really tough to fit everybody in there. I've seen a variety of different, predictions and choices, and I wouldn't complain if any of them happened. But yeah, this will be fun. This will be interesting. I love making predictions and shit like this. So we shall see. But do you wanna just go position by position, or do you want to list them all out and then see who we forgot?
Okay, so let's start in the West. So I make
Okay.
myself foolish early. Booker, Paul should absolutely be in.
Okay.
How many? So what is it? 2 guards you said?
Yeah, but you also have 2 wild cards, so those could be
Okay.
anything.
Oh man, I gotta pull up the standings. I
Yeah, no
know
worries.
Phoenix is towards the top, so
They're number 1 by far.
yeah,
I think they've only
I know
lost 10 games this year.
they're at the top. Memphis is third. Golden State's second. All right, let's look.
Mhm.
Donovan Mitchell has to be there,
Yep.
unless he's missed like a bunch of games that I don't know about.
He's missed a decent chunk at
Um,
this point, but I still think he'll be okay.
I think he's in. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 guys. Luca will definitely
Excuse me.
be in
Yep. Okay, so now you don't get any
just
more
because they love
guards.
him.
No more
No more
guards allowed.
guards. Oh Jesus. Um, I feel like I'm just.
So
I think. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say the West is a lot easier than the East, in my opinion. But there's definitely some room for debate.
I kind of think Draymond's gonna get in.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so that's
Gotcha.
5. We need what? 2 more players. One of them's a
Yep.
backcourt. The other's a
No, you
wild
get 2
card.
forwards.
2
You're out.
forwards.
Yeah, you're out of Luka's a guard, so you're out of
Okay, and Mitchell's a
yeah.
guard. Okay, all right, cool.
Mhm.
2 4. All right, so they'll probably put Rudy in there.
Okay.
I
But
still
is
kind of
is he on
contend that
your
he's not
ballot?
that great of a player, but whatever.
So do you want him on your ballot? You don't have to put him on your ballot if you don't think he
No,
deserves
like
it.
I think he's gonna get in. I can't think of anybody I would really put over him. That's the problem. Unless I'm
Okay.
really foolish.
You're missing one guy that I think should definitely be in it, but
Well, I
it's
haven't
all
finished yet.
debatable. I know. I know. It's all up for debate.
I feel like I'm like
But
taking an exam. And like I really did not study for the exam. Not that I ever did, because I thought studying was a waste of time, but that's neither here nor there. Oh boy. Is Town no, not Towns.
why?
You think Towns is in?
He's my last one, yeah.
That's
I've had
best
everything
guy? I'll
previous
go
to
with
it, he's
Towns
my last
then.
guy.
I
Alright.
just I'm not sure how well I mean, I guess they're better than they were last year.
Yeah, the Timberwolves are above a game above 500 right now, which in Minnesota is like they're on top of the
They weren't
world.
a title, yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're good. They're a good defensive team. They're good. And Cat's having a ridiculous season. A lot of people thought he should be a starter, which I don't contend, especially because Wiggins there too. But yeah, West is pretty easy because realistically speaking, other guys in the West outside of those guys you could argue for are like Jaren Jackson Jr. / Desmond Bain, who are
Well,
fine
that
with the
was like one
Grizzlies,
thing I was
but
struggling with because Memphis has played real well. obviously
Mhm.
Ja is probably like at least 80% of it. But those
Well,
you
they're
can't
like
be
10-2
winning the
without
amount of
him.
games they're winning without good players.
They went on like a 10-game win streak without him, so they're good. They're just a good team. Like they're really good.
Hell, I don't
And you
even
can
I
argue, but
if he wasn't a starter, I would say LeBron shouldn't be in the way they well, LeBron's missed a lot of games. I don't give a fuck, man. They're ninth. They're ninth.
yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
I think oh geez, I gotta pick somebody over LeBron now that I open my mouth.
There's nobody. That's the thing. There isn't anybody.
That I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Like realistically speaking, like it would have to be a forward because like you
Or a
can't have another
backcourt
guard on the
player.
roster.
How
No, you
did
can't. You can't.
Aiton's missed a lot of games, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
decent amount, but
Yeah, he probably
you
shouldn't
can't
get in.
fit another. You can't fit another guard on the roster, so it would have to be a forward player. Maybe you say Brandon Ingram, but they're like
No,
13
they're
games
bad.
below
Nope.
500.
Nope. Don't
Yeah,
care.
so
Bad.
I mean, you could say Paul George, but he's hurt. You could say Anthony Edwards, but he's a guard.
See, Anthony
There's not a lot
Edwards
of
is
argument.
someone that I kind of do feel like deserves a shout, though, but not over
Yeah,
anybody I put on the team.
exactly. That's the issue. The East is a lot harder, and I
Okay, let's get into it
grapple
because
back and forth.
now you can do your. Let's do your West. Is match
My West,
mine?
it's the exact same. It's the same.
Okay.
I have Booker, Paul, Draymond, Cat, Gobert, Luca, Donovan Mitchell. That's the West.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much room for debate. I think that'll be it, and I don't think there's much question. Um, I'd be shocked if anybody else gets in over those guys. But the East is very entertaining. So we can run down your Eastern Conference ballot, and we'll assume KD is still starting, and then at the end we can do like a replacement player for KD.
Okay. Cool. I mean, he's not going to play, but whatever.
Yeah, I know.
That's fine. Okay. Here we go. We've got Trey Young, KD, Embiid, Giannis, DeRozan starters. Okay. So Levine definitely deserves it. Chicago's good.
Yep.
Miami should be on the team. Jimmy Butler should be on the team.
Yep.
He's obviously the driving force there in Miami. Bam should be on the team. Has he missed actually? How many games Bam missed? You
Bam's
know,
missed a lot of games.
he's missed a lot of
I know it.
games.
He missed a significant amount. I'll find it. He has played in 27 of their games, of their like
Amazing.
40, 50 games. So he's missed like half.
So
He's
it's
missed like half the games.
Okay. All right. Probably not then. All right. So
Okay.
those two, and then you've got Darius Garland should be on it. That's three.
Okay.
Geez, I'm just trying to go as. Oh, Harden will be on the team. I don't know how many games he's missed, but he's gonna make it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's four. Let's see. I've got two guards. Well, what do they say Jimmy Butler is?
Forward.
Okay. All right. And they say Levine's a guard or a forward?
Guard. You have 3 guards.
I have 3 guards, so one of them's one of the utilities.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess I'll say Tatum, even though I don't really think he deserves to be an all-star this year, but whatever.
You're too harsh. You're too harsh.
No, I just really don't think he has. Like, I think the team's been bad because he's been bad. So why does that make him an all-star? Now they're playing better because he's playing better.
Yeah, they're 3 games above 500 on the year, and he's the best player on the team. Like, that's an all-star. Like, that's just
Well, they're
just
ninth in the conference.
Okay, but they're better than half the teams out west who have all-stars because they're in
They
the playoff
they
picture.
absolutely should be better than they are. And
That's fine.
by that.
Tatum's still an all-star.
The team has
not even close.
underperformed because he has underperformed.
Tatum is still an all-star, not even close.
I mean, you're probably right because I'm not going to name anybody else that deserves it.
Yeah.
I think he deserves, like, someone needs to, they need to make a statement to him.
Okay. Anyways, continue. Just keep going.
All right, let's see. I've named 2 forwards, 3 guards.
Mhm.
Probably should be another center. I don't know if that's necessary, but whatever. Oh my god, I had somebody. I honestly think Seth Curry should be on the team.
Stop. No.
What are you talking about? He's been fantastic.
Dude, the amount of guards that I'm
That's
leaving
the
off
problem.
my own list.
I think if they took like the best however many players, I think he should make it.
No, 0% chance. Bro, okay, do you want to put him on your ballot? I'll put him on your ballot right now for you.
He doesn't average. He isn't averaging as many points as I thought he was. I thought he was closer to 20. I apologize. He's still really efficient, but whatever. Okay, all right. So let's see. We've got those 5 guys. We won't put them on the ballot. I'm just being dumb here. I'm like choosing with my life. I'm just trying so hard not to sound foolish, even though I already have. See, has Middleton's like, I haven't heard much about him.
He's been all right.
Let me
He's
go
missed
back
some
to the
time. He's
standings.
okay, but yeah.
What do we think? Does
I have
Chicago have another guy on their team that needs a nod? I don't think
Vooch
so.
maybe. So you have Levine,
Who are
Garland,
these other
Jimmy,
guards?
Tatum, Harden.
Van Fleet needs to be on the team. I'm sorry.
Okay,
He's been unreal. I
thank you.
can't believe I forgot him. All right, so that's 6. So I've used all my utilities. I can only
Yeah,
pick forwards and bigs.
you need a forward. Yeah, you need a front court player now.
Okay.
There are 2 players I left off my team that I'm upset they can't be on the team. So I'll put it that way.
I'm just trying to make sure I have everybody covered on these top teams. I don't think Harris is going to get on from Philly. I don't think so.
Yeah, I got you.
I kind of feel like Jared Allen deserves a nod. And I
Okay.
also feel like Miles Bridges deserves a nod. But I
That's what
can't
I
think if I'm
grappled with
missing
as well.
anybody.
Yeah. I think those 2 I have Allen on my team, and I think Bridges will be the KD replacement. I think that's what's gonna happen.
And then, so on top of those 2, I have one more, right? Because the
No, that's it.
replacement.
Well, yeah, your replacement. No, one would have to be your replacement. Because you have Jimmy Tatum, Jarrett right now.
Jared. Okay.
Levine, Garland,
Okay. And
Harden,
then,
Van Vliet.
okay. All right. All right. Fine. That's fine.
So you want
that was very difficult. I'm
Bridges
sorry
as
for
your
those of you that
replacement?
just listened to me stumble for 10 minutes.
Do you want Bridges as your replacement though?
Yes. Yeah, I think he deserves a nod. I mean, he's
Okay.
killed the Celtics.
All right.
You know who's a real prick is Oubre.
Yeah.
He's been so irritating in those 2 games at the Garden.
Yes.
And he was really good in the first game, too. He made like 6 straight threes in the first half when they went to Charlotte early.
Yeah. My ballot's not the same as yours. Mine is different.
Okay.
Slightly. I still am not happy with it. I don't even have Harden. I don't even have Harden on the team. I don't think he deserves to be an all-star.
Well, he's going to be.
I know he will be, but that's a problem because that leaves
Well, I don't think Tatum
a really
deserves
talented
it, so
player.
there we go.
I have Tatum, Jimmy, Jared Allen, and I have Bridges as the forward replacement. I have Levine, I have Garland, I have Van Fleet, and I have Hero. I have Tyler Hero. I think he should be an all-star.
Hero is someone that I thought about, but I also think all the guards I picked might be better.
That would also
Harden's going to get on, but yeah, I think
Yes.
all those players are better.
And then after that, there's no LaMelo. That would leave LaMelo off the team, and I think he deserves to be an all-star too.
I think he should definitely be on the team.
You didn't have him on your team.
Yes, I did. I said LaMelo.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I said it the first time when you froze.
Okay, so then who do you want to take? Who do you want to take off?
Let's see, my guards.
Levine, Garland, Harden, Van Vliet.
Oh,
you see what I mean? You see how difficult
I wouldn't have picked
is?
Van Vliet the first time.
But
like, let me look.
How can you leave Van Vliet?
We're going to the review. Hold on.
It's so tough because, like, realistically speaking, I don't think Harden should get on, and even then, there's not enough spots for other guys I think should deserve it. I don't know,
Van
man.
Vliet,
it's tough.
21.5 and 7. Raptors are above the Celtics.
The most minutes.
41% from the field.
Come on. Now.
But 40% from 3. Okay. All right.
Doing a tail averaging 19. 7 and 8 on efficient shooting.
LaMelo.
But yeah.
And they're above them. Yeah, if Van Fleet's off, LaMelo's on.
Okay.
Sorry, Van Fleet.
I think that's fair. I think that's what will probably end up happening, and I wouldn't be mad at it. I also think you could throw Van Fleet and LaMelo and remove Hero from my list, but then Harden wouldn't get on, and I think he will, unfortunately. Actually, realistically speaking, the coaches pick this, and I don't know. Do you think they'll pick Harden over these guys? Well, over LaMelo, Van Fleet, Garland, Levine, Tyler Hero? I don't know.
All right, we're going to have to go to the review again because I don't know how many games Harden's missed.
I don't even think it's missing. He's just not playing well.
It doesn't matter. It's his name. And I know, like, that's
I don't
more
think
of a
the coaches care.
thing.
Yeah, I don't think the coaches care about that as much.
He's averaging 22, 10, and 8. And he turns it over. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yes.
And he shoots.
Oof,
actually, that's KD. So, hold on.
Yeah, Harden splits is not good.
Yeah, he's shooting
like 43 and 31.
Yeah, not very good.
And then Hero's averaging like what? 22.
Hero might deserve it over Harden, but
that's my point. What's Hero averaging? Tail of the tape. Let's hit the tape.
Tail of the
What is it?
tape. All
It's
right.
like 22 points,
The review.
4 rebounds, 5.5 assists on efficient shooting on one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference,
He
right?
he leads. Oh, wait a minute.
He's
Now,
second.
why does it
Butler's first.
say that he is the team leader in points when he's not? Unless it's total points.
It's probably total points
Okay, well, 20 points, 4 assists, almost 5 rebounds,
on
3
efficient shooting.
turnovers a game. And
What's
he
Harden's
shoot.
turnovers though? Definitely more
No,
than
it's
3.
5. It's 5.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the
He
volume.
averages
This
5 turnovers a game.
Hero 42% from the
Jesus.
field, but his 3-point is almost 38.
I'm just saying it's
The
tough.
assist to turnover ratio for Harden versus Hero is like significantly better though for Harden.
My
Not
thing
and
is
I don't even like Harden. I mean, I don't
the
like Hero
only
either, but
the only locks in the East are Levine definitely deserves to have a spot in my opinion, and I think
no, he
Garland definitely
does.
deserves a
And this
spot
is a
as
guy
well.
you're coming from me who said he was a bum last
Mhm.
year. I mean, I stand
Levine
by it, they weren't winning.
Levine and Garland definitely deserve spots. Garland's a little bit
Oh,
more iffy, but I
Garland
think definitely he does.
1000% deserves a spot. That team is good
Mhm.
mainly it's hard to say mainly,
Well
but he is the best guy on that team that's made a big turnaround.
well, that's an argument too though, because some people say Allen's the best player on the team, which is valid,
Well,
totally fair. So, that's
back to
tough.
the review
I
I
think
go.
Jimmy
Look
and
how much I'm
Tatum
learning during this podcast.
it's not all about points though. Garland's probably at around 19 and 8 or 19 and 7, and Allen's at
I
like
just wanna see what
15 and
Allen's stats
14.
are. I don't actually know.
Allen's like 16 points, 13 rebounds,
That's more
almost
points
2
than I
blocks.
thought he was gonna have. No, Allen deserves to be on, but I still think Garland's the best player on the team.
And that's fair. They both deserve it realistically. Like they
No,
both
they
deserve to
do.
be all-stars.
And they, to me, are both locks, especially Allen, just because
Mhm.
of the, like, the guard depth versus the
Yeah.
actual
Well,
backcourt depth on
I
the
think
bench.
Allen versus Bridges is definitely a fair argument too. And I think that I realistically speaking, I think Bridges will probably get it over Allen, but I think both will make it because of the
They
KD
should not.
replacement.
He should not, I'm sorry.
Like he
Allen shoots
Bridges?
I mean, it doesn't really matter what the percentage is for Allen, but he's almost at
Yeah,
70%, and
that's very
Cleveland
different.
no, I'm not saying that's why, I'm just curious how efficient his 16 was.
Very.
Um,
I mean, he's a center.
he plays similar to Rob, obviously, offensively. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland, well, they're only 3 games above Charlotte, but they're still above Charlotte, and they've
Yeah,
been
no.
I think you gotta give it to Allen.
I agree.
To
I
me,
agree.
when
I
you
have
have
him
a
on
tie
my
like
list.
that, which I think is a very fair, lock for you to have Bridges versus Allen, whoever's got more wins is the guy.
That's fair.
Sorry.
That's definitely no, that's fair. I think
And I
it's
stand
definitely
by
tough with the
that. That
guard.
is always my
Yeah.
thing is, are you winning? Like, look at all these bad teams, right? Like, anybody that isn't even in the play-in shouldn't get anybody.
Yeah, that's not
If
how it
they,
works.
for some reason, put Beal on, I'll lose my mind,
I don't think oh
which
god, yeah, that would piss me off.
I don't think they will,
I don't think he's the best
because I don't
wizard
even think he's
even.
been really that great this season.
No, he hasn't been. He's been
Let's
bad.
let's let's go to the
He's
review
shooting
on
like
Beal. Let's see how he's doing.
20 let me guess his
23,
stats. Yeah.
6.6 with
His assists are up.
3 scores, 45 from the field. Yeah, no. He's not on. 30% from 3. See you later.
How much is he averaging? What, 23 you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Still
He's
good,
not
but
even close.
no, but you see what I mean though? The East is a lot harder than the
No,
West.
it is.
West is
It's a
tough. The
deeper
West is
conference
easier.
all of a sudden. It's funny how, like, all of a
Yeah.
sudden the East became the better conference. It was always the West.
Crazy. West is definitely more top heavy. They have the better teams out West,
No, they
obviously. I
do.
think those three, but
That Phoenix
the
team is no
depth.
joke, and of course my boys out in California, Golden
Don't
State,
sleep on
keep
Memphis either. Memphis is
Memphis, Ja.
nasty. They're fun. Do you see the LeBron thing the other day with Memphis?
Yeah, like Desmond Bain, like, told him the footsteps don't scare him or something like
Yeah.
that. He
Yeah, and LeBron
Jeez, the Celtics
basically
should have kept that guy.
went at him and said, "Don't you dare disrespect me like that." And Bane just laughed at him.
Dude, more people need to tell LeBron to screw. I'm sorry. Or, like, anybody. Like, why do people, like, I don't get, like, why are you so, like, afraid of him? Like, just tell him to screw. Like Cantor, for example, right? Like, he wouldn't say anything to him in person. Don't need to tell him to, like, kick rocks or something. I don't know. What is he gonna do? Hit you? You know
It's
how much of a image he has to uphold? He's not gonna hit you.
I think it's less of a scared of LeBron thing and more of a like there's just no point. Like why the fuck would you like
Why
just don't
not?
it's not worth it. It's just not worth starting
What's not
arguments.
worth it?
Just
What negatives has Desmond Bain had besides having a rough game yesterday?
Nothing. He didn't start shit. He just talked trash, and that was it.
Well,
And then
yeah, but
then
you don't
LeBron was
see.
talking at him. He walked away. It's not like he
Yeah, he
fought him. He
laughed
just
at him.
walked away. Yeah, he
Don't
just
don't
walked away and did
disrespect
nothing.
me. I would have told him to screw.
Anyways,
More people need to do what Desmond Bain did. Is my point. And you don't see it enough. It's all hugs.
yeah, that's all I had for today. I'll recap real quick. Our West ballots, both of ours were the same. Booker, Paul, Draymond, Gobert, Cat, Mitchell, Luca. East, Sam had Levine, Garland, Jimmy, Tatum, Allen, Harden, LaMelo. I had Levine, Garland, Jimmy, Tatum, Allen, Van Fleet, Hero. Uh, realistically speaking, though, LaMelo versus Van Fleet is a very
I
or
can't believe you left. I was
LaMelo.
gonna say like you love your teams that you cover on the side, like Charlotte and Miami. And I was like, how did he leave LaMelo off? That's one of those teams that you cover.
LaMelo, Hero, and Van Vliet. Those three is just like it's so close, and I wouldn't complain if any of them make it. But if Harden gets on, I'm gonna be pissed because he doesn't deserve it. I don't think Harden
He's gonna
deserves
get on, so get
it. I know,
ready. Get
I
your
know.
stress ball ready.
And realistically speaking, KD's the best player. But if he's out, the Nets do deserve to have a player in the All Star game, right? Like they're like, you know what I'm saying?
It
Like KD's
certainly should
out,
be
so
Patty Mills after he made 7 threes against Mike Conley
Patty
deserves
Mills
a
is
shout out
nasty.
west after that game.
Yeah,
We should have done like ballots for all like guys against the Celtics. Like
we can
like
do that
which guys like
sometime.
it would be so different. Like KD would still be on there.
Mm.
Middleton,
Middleton, Ish
uh,
Smith,
Ish Smith,
the
LaMelo could be
boy,
on there. LaMelo's killed them. Rozier would be on there.
Karis LeVert will be on there.
Levert,
You
well,
throw
he
him up.
he did it once.
Hey,
Let's
that's
take a moment.
it's enough.
Uh,
50 something is enough.
I think
I mean,
Fournier would be on there.
could argue Booker. I mean, you put up 70 in a
That
loss, but
that's that no, that's 7. I'm sorry.
I just wanted
One,
to
they
get you
lost the
mad. I
game.
know, I know.
And even then, like 70-70, like even though they still lost, but like
Mhm.
if you watched that game, like I'm sure you
I
did,
know, I
they
know.
the Celtics legitimately helped him get 70 points. They
Uh,
were fouling him at the end of the game so he could get free throws.
I just wanted to hear you
That
rant
is
about it
the
because I know
most
your thoughts.
empty 70 points you will ever see.
I just thought it was funny. Let's see who else would be on that team.
Okay, let's start.
Excuse
Let's
me.
actually do it then. All right. So in the
Oh God.
East,
All right, we'll do it quick. We'll do it quick. You
I mean,
want? We
we
should just
probably
do an
have
All
like
NBA team.
we.
I
I
don't think
mean,
there's enough for
all
East and
right. Top
West.
15 guys. All right. Same
15. All right.
rules.
All right. All right. All right. Do you want to just do a whole all-star team of it? 2 guards, 2 forwards, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah. All right. So starters are 2 guards, or 3 backcourt,
Yep, and
and
then
then
the bench is the same
Well,
with 2
let's
wild
do the
cards.
starters first.
Yeah, yeah.
So LeBron is a starter.
Okay.
Okay.
Chris Middleton has to start too.
Chris Middleton has to start.
Are we doing recent or all time? I think we should just do current players, right? Obviously.
Anybody in the league
Okay.
today.
But like I'm saying, like, are you counting like 2010 LeBron, like
No,
those
like
years too?
if well, his career.
Okay. Yes, that's what I was asking. I got you.
Okay. If they're still in the league and they've got a career history of it, then yes.
Okay.
So LeBron is yes on.
Yep.
Middleton. So that's
Yep.
do
That's
we
2.
want
2
Middleton to be a
starters.
guard or a forward?
He's a forward.
He's a forward, so it's 2
Evan
forwards.
Evan Fournier needs to be. Should he
Fournier
start
is a
now?
guard. He
Should he
has
start?
historically killed them. Okay,
All
so
right.
you really, I mean, I guess you only really need a second guard, but it should be a point guard. Jesus.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be any guard. Bless you.
Ooh, you know, Donovan Mitchell deserves a shout. I don't know if he's a starter in this context.
I can throw him on the bench.
He should be in the pool of players. Luca is on there. Luca's
Luca,
the
I
other
think
guard.
Luca should start.
Luca's the other starter, and then you need a big or a third backcourt guy.
You know what? Should we do this? Should we include Luca and LeBron and Donovan Mitchell and all these all stars?
Yes,
like,
because they have specific, especially LeBron, have killed them.
All right, I'm just saying, like, these are like superstars. Like, should we do it more? Evan Fournier, Ish Smith, Karis LeVert, like the second. You know what I'm saying? Like, because obviously LeBron kills the Celtics, but he doesn't just kill the Celtics. Like, he maybe he has really good games against Celtics, yes, but like it's not like that's the only team he plays phenomenal.
It's not the
Luka Doncic.
I know what you're saying, but like Luca specifically has had games where he's like
the buzzer beaters.
He had 2 buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
in the last 2
we can
years.
leave it then. LeBron is fine. We can leave it.
But for the
Ish
bench,
Smith,
we should not do is star-studded. I'm just trying to think
Ish Smith on the bench.
who should the last starter be? I
We need
don't
a
think
front
it's
court
Embiid.
player.
It's not Embiid because they always beat Philly. I don't care how many points he scores; they always run through Philly.
Okay.
So it's not him.
Um, hmm. I'm just looking through my lists, or I'm just looking through the standings. I mean, of people who I could potentially think of. Um, I don't know, man. This is tough. I don't have a good memory with this type
This
of
is
shit.
fun though. I do like this. This is a good segment, and I want to finish it. But
I don't have a good
man,
memory.
who? I mean,
Can I?
it doesn't have to be a big, or it doesn't have to be a center.
It's a front
I
court
should
player.
say.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Hmm. This is tough. I'm lost. I'm looking. I'm looking at most points averaged against Celtics.
I'm trying to think
Uh,
of just dudes that are still in the league that have
Lamelo,
like
but he's a.
he's a guard,
Mhm.
and he can be off the bench if you'd like.
Max
Oh,
Strus is like top 10 on this list because he put up 27 in one game. That's funny.
oh man, I'm just trying
Donovan
to go through
Mitchell's
all
on
the
this
teams
list
in
is
my
too.
head.
I'm looking
Well,
at
Donovan
the
Mitchell's really good against them.
yeah.
There's been a couple. I think it was back to back, like kind of like Luca, the same kind of deal. Back to back. I kind of want to put KD on it because I feel like I would love to see the Celtics record. Can you look up KD's all-time record against the Celtics in his career?
Yeah. Kevin Durant record against
And I guarantee the
excuse
bulk of
me.
the losses came early.
11 and 9. 11 and
Ele-
9 is the record.
Oh, I bet you like those 9 losses are all like before 2013.
All right, since 2013. 8 and 3 since 2013.
Yeah, there you go. It's
3 and 6 before.
pretty lopsided.
Yep. Since 2015, 6 and 2.
Yeah.
2017,
I don't know
5
if
and
he's
2.
our guy though.
um yeah, I don't
You
know.
know who low key is always kind of good against Celtics is Valanciunas.
Really? Is
I think
he?
when he was in Toronto, he used to have some games.
I can look at that. Stats against Celtics. He averages 10 and 9.
Nah, maybe
And
not.
since when though? Like 2015. Since then, it's up a little. I've never noticed it. I'm not good. I don't notice this type of shit though as
Oh,
much.
I do. I always get super pissed.
I know you do.
I'm like,
I
you got to
don't
be
pay
kidding.
attention
All right, we
really.
can come back to that guy then. Let's fill out the bench.
I have Donovan Mitchell and Ish Smith on the bench as the
Donovan
starters.
Mitchell, Ish Smith, Terry Rozier. Since he's
Okay.
left, he's killed them.
Should I put Karis LeVert as a forward?
You can put Levert on it. Why not?
All right. What else you got? Again, I don't know. I'm lost. I mean, Julius Randle plays all right, but it's
Nah, I don't. That's not someone I think of.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Let us know. Let us know who your
Yeah,
Celtic killer all stars are. Because
I can't
I'm
think of anything.
lost.
Any Spurs guys? I feel like there could be some Spurs guys that kill the Celtics.
I mean, DeJounte Murray usually plays pretty well against them.
Mm-hmm.
Keldon Johnson has had a couple good games against them recently. That's one that was kind of annoying. You know who deserves a nod is what's the dude? Ty Jerome from Oklahoma City last year. That was one that upset me.
Moses Brown.
Moses Brown.
Top.
Moses Brown can be
Moses
one
Brown
with his
earned a whole ass
extension
contract.
earning performance against the Celtics.
Hasn't played. He hasn't got minutes this year either.
Has
Like,
not
he's
played.
just fallen off. But yeah, you guys. I mean, let us know. We have Fournier, Doncic, LeBron, Middleton, Donovan Mitchell, Ish Smith, Karis LeVert, Terry Rozier, Ty Jerome, Moses Brown is like lower
You
tier
can put
ones.
LaMelo on there because he's had those games this
Yeah,
season against them pretty well.
yeah, he's played well. Brandon Boston Jr. in his one game of the season.
Yes, there you go. That's your all-star team captain. At the time, scored half of his. So he had 54 points going into the game for the whole season. He scored half of that.
That's too good. That's too good.
Can't write.
That's all I had on my
we can wrap it
talk
up
today.
there.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Again, all-star teams by the time you guys are hearing this are out by now, but we're just doing our predictions today.
See how we did.
So you guys can listen. Yeah,
Is Jack
hopefully we have
upset?
fun.
Is Harden on the team?
He's gonna be too.
Am
know
I
he
upset? Is
but it's
Tatum
just annoying.
starting after having a pathetic year by his standards?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate the listenership. You guys can check us out on Twitter, Jack Simone NBA, Sam LaFrance NBA, Bannertown USA. And yeah, I'll just throw it over to Sam to wrap it up.
Well, Jack has gone through all the names because we're on StreamYard like we do our pregame streams. He's used to being the closer. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you can give us a follow at Jack's One NBA and me at Sam LaFrance NBA. Follow Bannertown at Bannertown USA. That's our show for the week.
Tic-tac-toe. Come on.